Thank you. After listening to the speeches, I wrote a 15-page one this morning. I'm not going to pay any attention to it at all. I'm going to tell you right from the time I was a small child, my mother said she always knew what I was up to because it came out of my mouth. I would sit there at the breakfast table and argue with her. She would give me, don't go through the laneway on the way to school. Why not? Well, because there's bad people in the laneway. I said, no, I haven't seen any bad people. She said, have you been in the laneway? I said, no, I just looked down. So 4 years later, my younger sister starts school. And she said to my mother, how do you know if we go through the laneway? Remember, she's 4 years younger than me and I'm not as smart as her. She said, I asked God at night. And I'm going, come on, really? So we went through the laneway that day with my sister. She marches back home after going through the laneway. She says to my mother, did you check with God? My mother said, yeah, it's a good thing you told us the truth. After that, we went through the laneway every day. But the point is, I was always the one, followed the rules. I was always the one that told my mother what she was doing really wasn't good for me. I wanted it to do it this way. And I've always done that. I've always looked at a different way of doing things so that it helps people, as has been said. And when we ran into problems with building the basketball court, we just said, well, Nav will give us a whole pile of money, big buckets came in, and the city put the other half in, and away we went. And it's the only outdoor basketball court in Canada that's never been vandalized in the roughest part of town. So I have had the very good fortune of having lots of experience. I was a school trustee, and I have to tell you that's the toughest job in the world because people are dealing with their kids. And when they call you at night, my son doesn't want to go to that school, he's all distressed about it, what can you do? You get on the phone, you call the principal, you try to fix it. But that's a tough job. The next one I had, I skipped one. The next one I had was running Nando Yanika for councillor in Ward 7 and got my ass kicked. Now you learn more from losing an election than you do from winning an election. You can win them, Dave Cullum knows this, you just win one after the other, it's kind of mechanical. And then I went on to be an MP with Mr. Chrétien. And that was a fabulous time of my life. I traveled all over the world. I was the first female vice president of the NATO Parliamentary Association. And I don't know if I was good or if it was because the president that year couldn't speak a word of English. So they needed somebody to run the meetings. So I did that. I've been to the Middle East 5 times. I've been actually to Gaza. I've been to Pakistan. I've been to 33 different countries. So when you come back to Mississauga and you say, oh, I understand where you came from and I understand what your issues are, I really do. So I'm really looking forward through experience and through being on council, 13 years. And I have to tell you a quick Hazel McCallion story. When I first got on council in Ward 6, things were coming to council. I didn't know where they were coming from. So I put my hand up one day and I said, Madam Mayor, where was that decision made? Never mind. A little while later, another decision came forward. I said, where was that decision made? Never mind. And Pat can vouch for this. She ran the city from her office. And our job was to take care of potholes, neighborhood disputes, 2 high fences. So I caused a little trouble there too, and I was punished for it. We went into an inquiry, and at the end of the inquiry, I lost the next election. And I call it a sabbatical for 4 years. When Hazel retired, I get a phone call. Carol, I want to have breakfast with you. I thought, oh boy, now I'm going to get it. I met her up at Bobby's, never mentioned the inquiry at all, just took up where we left off. In June of 2022, she came up to Malton to congratulate a church there for 70 years, Anne's Church. And she got up and she gave this wonderful speech about how important religion was in preserving churches. Then she listed everything I'd done in Malton. So when she was finished, Anne said, would you like to speak? I said, no, she did a great job. I'm not going to speak. But I'm really happy. That's one of the happiest things of my life is Hazel and I got to be the good friends we were before she passed away. So anyway, what am I here to promise you? I am here to promise you we won't lose another 40,000 people from Mississauga. We lost 40,000 people since the last census because they can't afford to live here. Young people, people with little families, kids. I'm going to put together a mayor's panel and I'm going to put developers on it. And every month they're going to meet and say, my thing's been held up here for this reason. I can't get through this, I can't do that. And we'll work together and we're going to change the planning department. Good thing Whittlemore's not here, the commissioner. But I think that's what we need to do. We have to have the practical problems solved around a table where everybody's aiming to do the same thing, which is to build our city. And as far as the seniors are concerned, I brought in free dental care for seniors. We brought in $1 bus rides. I promise you, not that you're old enough to be a senior, that'll be free bus rides. I also want to reduce the cost. If you hang around in parking lots outside community centers, and I don't imagine a lot of you do or you'd get arrested, I had to sit there for an hour because I got to a meeting too early. The only people using community centers during the day are seniors. So we should be reducing the cost for them and make it reduced for the hours that the other groups aren't using it. I never could figure out why the council, when I wasn't there, agreed to build an LRT north-south. I don't know a lot of people that are going to be going to Brampton other than my buddies up there. And I don't know a lot of people that are going down to Port Credit from Brampton, but I do know a lot of people go east-west. So one of the things Michael pointed out, and ICRA, I can work with other levels of government. The best way to work with them is you get Annette Groves from Caledon, you get Patrick Brown from Brampton, and you get me from Mississauga, and we march downtown and we say, this is what we need. So you'll come with me? Right on. So we need an east-west LRT. We need line to Milton. I think Pat Sato has been dreaming of that for years. There are all these things that we need. I don't want to talk about the subway. We had a subway offered to us when I first moved here, and for free, and it was turned down. Okay, we won't talk about sad things. We're going to talk about good things. So the other thing that I promise you, and I'm hoping all these councillors that are here are listening to me, we're not going to do a big meeting when the budget is already set in stone. We're going to do quarterly meetings. And you guys are going to take all our new suggestions to your people, ask them to prioritize them, and we're going to build a budget for 12 months. And the people are going to have something to say about it. And I've heard that there's somebody out there, could be an opponent, that's offering zero tax increase. I'm telling you that's not possible. You have to repair community centers, you have to repair roads, and you have to bring in some new services like windrow clearance for the seniors. So there will not be a promise coming out of me for zero tax increases, but there will be a promise that I will spend the tax dollars the way I spend my own dollars. Don't listen, Susie. I really want to thank everybody who's here today. You've given up a few hours of your weekend. I really appreciate it. I appreciate all the people who got up and spoke. And I really thank everyone who's here. I hope you will all sign up to either drop literature, knock doors, do various little jobs that will all work together and will get me elected. And that's about it.
Hello everyone, this is Ikra Khalid, Member of Parliament in Mississauga, Erin Mills, and I'm here today with Carolyn Parrish at her office launch, her campaign launch for running for Mayor of Mississauga. Carolyn is a person who has not only been proving herself with integrity, but she's also inspired young people across our city. She's also supported seniors across our city, and she really knows and understands the issues. So I'm really hoping, well, I will be voting for hopefully Mayor Carolyn Parrish, and I hope that you will too. The election is on June 10th. Please reach out, come out, ask her questions, get to understand her and get to know her. I know that you will feel the same way. Thank you.